In this video, we're going to go over how the B2B landscape is changing rapidly and what companies are doing to take advantage of this. We'll also go over the top B2B e-commerce platforms and the pros and cons of each. My name's Joe, and I'm with IWD Agency. In the last 15 years, we've helped hundreds of brands grow online through e-commerce. Many of these have been B2B brands, and a lot of them have faced many hurdles to get their brands online. And today we're going to go through how this landscape is changing, and how we've helped many of these brands grow online, and what their solutions have been. Some of the top concerns that we hear from our customers that come to us is that their catalogs are too big or too custom, that their resale partners around the globe will feel threatened if they add e-commerce to their brand and they'll stop promoting them. The third thing is that customers prefer to send POs directly to their sales reps, or they won't buy online. And the fourth main reason is that they don't want to list their pricing or their full catalogs online. And we've helped many of these companies overcome these hurdles. Let's dive into why it's so important that wholesalers and manufacturers get their products online and get into e-commerce. The first thing is that the top search engines such as Google, they won't even serve your content unless you're there. So unless you actually have products online and content online, Google being the main one, they won't even serve your page or your website to your potential customers unless you actually have content online to deliver to them. But that's not just a homepage that just says about your company and about the type of products and services that you have. That's individual products and individual things that people are looking for to solve their business needs. So if they're looking for a certain part or they're looking for a certain tool that they need to solve their business needs, and that's not on your website, then Google will never send that customer to you. It's so important these days is that you get as much of your content online so that search engines can start sending people your way that are looking for your products and your services. Here are a few statistics to go by. 90% of B2B buyers start their research online. And if you're not there, they're not going to find you. 74% of these buyers actually prefer to be able to do their purchase online. And then out of these, 84% of these customers prefer to do their repeat purchases online. If you're not serving this demographic, then you're going to miss out on the sale, or they're going to prefer to go to your competitor over you. Basically, what's happening is B2B companies are having to adapt to the new demographic of B2B buyers. What's happening is a lot of the old generation is retiring, such as the baby boomers, and the new generation is coming into these companies. We're seeing that 65% of the companies right now are either millennials or Gen Zs. And then out of that, the people that are actually making the buying decisions, the leader of the companies, 73% of these companies are now led by millennials, or they're the decision maker when it comes to purchasing decisions. This is affecting B2B sales in a major way. We see year after year growth of B2B sales online. Currently, it's at 17% for 2023 at $1.8 trillion of B2B sales online. And this is growing year after year very rapidly. Even through all the economic challenges that we're facing in 2023, we're seeing B2B still growing at a rapid rate, especially compared to other B2C type companies. And the reason why is that B2B buyers purchase a good or service for their organization almost daily. And actually 1/3 of these people that buy daily, they buy up to 3 times a day for their organization. So a lot of these people are buying a lot of goods and services for their businesses online at a rapid rate. If you look at just the B2B growth rate of traditional B2B companies, it's at just 0.5% year after year. But if you look at this as just e-commerce and the growth of e-commerce year after year, it's 10% growing annually. You can see that the growth for B2B is mainly online, as offline is basically pretty stagnant. What's also still very surprising is a lot of B2B companies still haven't adopted this. And the ones that have seen a huge growth of their companies online. And if you look at the statistics, 2 out of 3 of B2B companies that have a presence online get more than 50% of their sales through their e-commerce approach. And these companies are continuing to grow their e-commerce brands, and they continue to see more revenue driven through their e-commerce presence. 3 out of 4 of these companies expect that more than 50% of their revenue will be through e-commerce by the end of next year. But what this does not mean is that offline is not important. Offline is still very important to these B2B companies. Actually, a hybrid approach is what most of them are doing. If you combine both offline and online sales where they're helping each other out, this is where the hybrid approach comes into place. This is still very important, and many of these companies are reporting about 63% of their revenue is coming through people doing research online and then placing the order through an offline means, or a combination of both. Making sure you still have sales representatives to support your e-commerce sales is still very important. So if we just segment manufacturers out of the B2B marketplace, you can also see their growth trend. Year after year, it's growing online, and this is just for the manufacturing demographic. But you can see from 2016 to 2021 that this has grown steadily year after year and is currently at almost $500 billion. And manufacturers are seeing a steady growth for their e-commerce presence. It's still surprising that many of these brands are still not online. The ones that are not going to be online are not going to have an e-commerce presence are going to really miss out. 75% of brands by 2024 expect to invest heavily into their e-commerce presence. And I'd imagine the 25% that do not do this are going to really miss out on this growth opportunity. The first thing that you need to be focused on if you have a B2B company is to get an e-commerce store and to start getting your content online. Now let's dive into the top B2B e-commerce platforms. When it comes to B2B e-commerce platforms, there are many out there. We're going to cover the top 3 that we see requested mainly and that are the best for B2B e-commerce businesses. There are many more out there that you can explore, but these are the top 3 that we see and that have the best B2B features. When it comes to the platform that you pick, this is something that you shouldn't take lightly. This is the foundation of your whole e-commerce system. This is something that you're not going to want to change often, if ever. So it is worthwhile to do your research and to do more homework outside of this video. It's also good to get a list of the main features that you're looking for and compare these to the different platforms. It's wise to go to the different platforms and request different demos from each of them so you can see how they all stack up. These platforms are coming up with new features and new benefits all the time, so it is worthwhile to do your own research. We also can assist you with this. Every business is different. One solution will not fit every business, and it is a wise thing to take your time to make the right decision for your business. The top 3 B2B platforms that we're going to review today is Shopify or Shopify Plus, BigCommerce, and Adobe Commerce. We'll start with Shopify and Shopify Plus. This is the fastest growing e-commerce platform out there. It's also the most innovative platform. They're innovating super fast and coming out with a lot of new features very quickly. Some of the pros to this platform is very easy to get started. It's a hosted solution, so you can just sign up on their website and start playing around with it. Like I mentioned, it's the fastest growing platform. From small businesses to large businesses, it's one of the fastest growing platforms out there, and partially is due to how easy it is to get started and also how quickly they're innovating with the new features they're coming out with. The other major pro to this platform is it's a super low maintenance. Since it's a hosted platform, they do all the upgrades and security patches for you. This makes it easy to maintain year after year without having to go and do security patches or upgrades yourself. The other big pro to Shopify Plus is they recently released some new B2B features and they're highly focused on this area. They're going to continue to come out with new features for particularly B2B merchants. The cons of this platform is they do take a percentage of your revenue. So this is something that you have to equate into your cost of ownership. And that since it is a hosted platform and you have to share this hosting with other merchants, they don't let you customize everything. So you will be limited on the amount of customizations that you can make on this platform. You're going to have to weigh off, do I want to be able to do more customizations or do I want to have a lower cost of ownership and less maintenance? This is something that every business has to weigh out for themselves. In the latest release of Shopify Plus, they've rolled out a lot of different B2B features. Some of the top features that they've rolled out are now that they have company profiles, which allows you to set up a company inside of Shopify, and this will allow you to set up different users under that company. So you can have a company profile where you can give a discount to, and you can have different approval processes, and then they can go and order for their organization. This is a very big feature to allow you to start doing B2B on Shopify. They now have quantity purchasing rules, so you can set up different quantities, either a minimum purchase or where you have discounts for higher quantities that are purchased, such as if you order 100, you get X amount of discount. If you order 200, you get 20% discount. If you order 500, then you get a 30% discount. So they have quantity rules now built in, which is a very nice feature. They have quick ordering tables now. They now have set up B2B APIs. And since Shopify is the largest e-commerce provider out there these days, and they have a really vibrant ecosystem, they have the largest app store compared to any other platform out there. So you're going to have a lot of different add-ons that are easily accessible to you and your company. And a lot of these are B2B focused. The other key takeaway is that they are very focused on B2B initiative and they are rolling out a lot of new features. So it is pretty important to note that they are focused on B2B and B2B features so that you know that they're going to continue to innovate in this area. When it comes to Shopify, I would say that they are probably most in line with medium and small companies. There are also a lot of larger enterprises on them. Since they have less ability for customizations for fully customized, A lot of the bigger organizations doing $100 million online, they're not necessarily using Shopify because of the limitations of the customizations they're seeing there. The next platform we're going to review is BigCommerce. BigCommerce focuses on the mid-market. They're focused on more of the merchants that's doing $1 to $50 million online annually. The pros of them is they are a hosted solution, but they allow more customizations than Shopify. This is the thing that they're really known for, is kind of being in the middle ground of being a hosted solution and being an open source solution, allowing some of the conveniences of a hosted solution while having some of the flexibilities of an open source solution. One of the main pros for them is that it's more customizable and that it's lower maintenance. The cons for them is that it's not fully customizable and they're still building out their B2B feature list. So they don't have all the features that some of the other platforms do. Some of the main features that they do have is they do have a B2B portal. When a business logs in, they have an area to go to see all their previous orders and to see the products that are available to them. They have corporate account management, which is the same thing as a company management, so that users can create a company inside of BigCommerce and then you can associate users to that company so they can purchase orders for their organization. They have sales representative and sales representative quoting inside of BigCommerce. This allows sales representatives to log in as a customer, help them place the order, and it also allows them to create quotes for that order and then for the customer to approve it or disapprove that quote. They also have B2B rules so that you can set different tier pricings and different pricings for different customer groups or different tier pricings for volume as well. These are all very basic B2B features, but also BigCommerce is customizable. While it has a limited amount of B2B features built out the box, it is customizable so you can add additional features to what they currently have. The last platform we're going to cover today is the OG. It used to be known as Magento, been acquired by Adobe, so now it's Adobe Commerce. This is one of the oldest platforms around and it has a really large feature list. Some of the pros with this platform is it's fully customizable. It's completely open source, so you can modify it however you wish. You can dive into any part of the code and modify it for your business needs, which is a big bonus to a lot of bigger companies that need to customize their e-commerce needs exactly to how their business works. Magento has been doing B2B for a really long time, so it has a lot of core B2B features baked into the platform. Another key benefit to Adobe Commerce is it's built into the Adobe suites. It's completely tied into Adobe Analytics, Marketo, and the other business suites of Adobe. If you already use those tools, that's a big benefit to use Adobe Commerce as well. The cons to this platform is since it is open source and it is customizable, there is more maintenance costs associated with it. You have to do your upgrades, you have to do your security patches all yourself. This is a factor you have to factor into the cost of ownership of this product. Second con is that the initial build can be a little bit more expensive. That's because it is a little bit more feature rich and it's open source so that you can do more with it, but it's more complex to set up and to build for your business. So it can be a little bit more expensive for the initial build. Adobe Commerce has more B2B features baked in out of the box than any other platform around. Some of the main features that it has baked in are the ability to create companies and users under it, which a lot of these other platforms have. But you can also create different custom catalogs for individual companies, which is a big feature as well. It has a lot of the quick order tables already built in, so you can make bulk orders quicker. You can bulk order using a CSV file, so directly uploaded to the store, and that can place a bulk order for a merchant. It also has a sales representative baked in, so the sales representative can log in as a merchant and place an order for them. Or companies can be associated to a sales representative so they can get commission and be attributed to any sales that that company makes to the website. It also has quoting features built in, so you can request a quote, you can send that business a quote, and then that business can either decline it or approve the quote. And if they decline it, then it can go back to the sales representative and they can modify it based upon that merchant's needs. One of the other big features that Adobe Commerce has that is not just for B2B businesses, but this is for any type of retailer. It can handle more complex products. It has a whole bunch of different types of products that you can use with inside of Adobe Commerce, and that can build out more complex solutions for merchants to be able to have more complex catalogs. And we see these more complex products and more complex catalogs with a lot of B2B merchants, such as manufacturers and wholesalers. A lot of times they have more complex needs. This is a big feature for them. This is a brief overview of some of the top features of the biggest B2B e-commerce platforms. If you need any more help researching these, please hit us up at iwdagency.com. And if you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe and we'll catch you next time. Bye.